Morning everyone. Today I want to talk to you about niggling running injuries and how to overcome them. So it's a lovely Tuesday morning. I'm actually going to do 2 episodes today because it's so nice. We're going to head to the beach this afternoon and hopefully I'll do a nice beach run for you. But yeah, so Tuesdays are all things running, and what I want to talk to you today is something that one of the new members of the group, Kath Colston, requested. It's just that one of her biggest challenges in running was I think she has bilateral Achilles tendonitis, which is an inflammation of the Achilles tendon ultimately, and it's one of these things that keeps recurring and very difficult to kind of keep it under control. So I want to just give you my take on injuries. I'm no medical expert or physio, but I've had a huge number of injuries over the years, and by going through those, I've got my own opinion and my own way of how I've dealt with them to try and minimise them happening in the future. Firstly, one thing I would say is running something that form is so important. So running form is massively important, pure and simply because it's such a repetitive, especially when you start doing more endurance, more long stuff, it's such a repetitive sport, pounding the streets or the ground in over and over again. So if you're slightly out of alignment or landing slightly funny, the compounding effects of that, I always talk about the compounding effects of things in business, productivity, all that type of thing. Well, it can work against you as well, because if you're not running with the correct form, the compounding impact will be that you just get injured. Simple as that. So there's a lot of debate over gait analysis. If you're not, gait is spelled G-A-I-T, gait, and what it's ultimately measuring is how perpendicular your foot strikes the ground. The ideal being the more perpendicular that you strike the ground, so you're not basically, your ankle's not leaning one side or the other when you land. That's what gait analysis does, and most decent running shops will enable you to go on a treadmill and they'll record with some form of video camera behind you, seeing how your foot strikes the treadmill, to tell you if you're getting a nice perpendicular landing, which is supposed to be kind of textbook. Some people say there's no evidence to suggest it, but I've done it for a while, and what it enables you to do is it enables you to test out multiple different types of running trainer, and also which ones fit the nicest and which ones give you the most support for your style of running, because everyone has a different style of running. So that's really important. So I don't know whether it makes a huge difference, but psychologically it used to make a big difference to me. I've had notoriously weak ankles, and my days playing football, I've had 3 ankle injuries, 2 on one on the other, where I've been out for over 6 months. So ankle ligament damage. So ankles will never be as strong as they used to be, and I've just accepted that. So I have to manage and take every precaution. And I think a lot of things with injury, a lot of it can be psychological in terms of confidence. If you're not confident enough to run with an injury, you'll run in a slightly held back way, which is abnormal to you, and you might get injured again. So anything you can do to give you a psychological edge and confidence to run is worthwhile. So gait analysis is something that I'd recommend. I found it to be really good in the past. Obviously, since I've switched to barefoot running style, I don't anymore, because I don't get that level of support from a trainer anymore, which is a pro and a con. The pro is that technically my own body should work out how to land more effectively, and my running form should improve from doing it. But I'll talk to you about the pros and cons of barefoot running in a future episode. So that's number one, gait analysis. The other thing to consider is obviously find a brand of running trainer that gives you the most support for you. You generally find running trainers can often be like slippers. When you put them on, you'll have one that just feels like this is amazing, and you have some that just feel like, oh, this is alright, it's a bit hard. Try and get that feeling. So that slipper-like feeling. The more comfortable you feel in your shoe, the more comfortable you're going to be running in it overall. So that's one thing. Then the next thing is, again, psychological. But I think most runners would probably agree with me here that you're always going to be carrying some kind of niggling injury. I mean, I'm running every day for 365 days. I know some people that are doing this with further distance that I'm doing. I'm doing 5Ks each day, normally a longer couple of runs at the weekend. But I know people that are doing crazy distances and still doing every day. And I think from speaking to lots of people and my own experiences, you always find that you're carrying some kind of niggle. And quite often it's managing it and trying to get it better, but using a light form of running as a way to kind of recover. So you see people do recovery runs. They've done a hard run. The next day they'll do a really gentle, slow run to try and get the muscles moving, keep themselves loose, get the blood flowing to hopefully aid the recovery process. So you can certainly do that. So this is what I do. You have to be very, very careful. If you overdo it, you'll injure yourself again. But I often do lots and lots of recovery runs at super slow pace. I mean, we're talking just faster than walking. And when you're doing that, you're just getting the joints and the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments all moving, and blood flowing through it, and you can aid recovery. So recovery runs are something that works for me. But I think the key thing is to understand that you're always going to have something niggling in the background, whether it's just tight muscles or something that it's very rare you ever feel absolutely perfect when you go on a run. Well, maybe that's just my age, but that's how I generally feel. So the next thing is to foam roll. Now, foam rolling, well, one level up from that, I'll start with one level up from that is, I can't at the moment because of COVID, but I was historically getting a sports massage every 6 weeks. That's the kind of, I've tested it, doing it a little bit more frequent. I've tested it, doing it less frequent. And I think I found the sweet spot being about 6 weeks apart. And all it does is, I've got a really good sports masseuse, and it's brutal. It's probably up there the most painful thing you can go through, which is brutalising. And she does it all on my legs. So some people have sports massages, full body and all that sort of things. Mine are just on my legs and my feet sometimes, depending on how my feet are feeling. And she just, irons out any little kinks or deficiencies or tightnesses in your muscles. If they are allowed to sit and stay, then they can calcify and get more, your muscle fibers can calcify and get more tight. And then inevitably it's going to be a weak spot, and then the more you run on it, it'll eventually snap or tear. So doing this is just like servicing a car, ultimately, if you look at it that way. Just fine-tuning things, like ironing out those little creases and niggly injuries muscular anyway, before they get to the stage where they cause you a lot of grief and a longer term injury. And I can say this from experience because I've had, I think, 5 or 6 calf tears that have been at least 6 weeks out. I've had hamstring tears where I've been 3 months out. I've had ankle ligament damage where I've been 6 months out. So I've had a wide host of injuries associated with my legs. So I have to take, if I'm doing the miles, I'm doing the level of running that I do, I've got to obviously make sure that I'm minimising my risk of injury. So sports massage is massive tick in the box for me. I found they've made an absolutely game-changing difference. And previously I was getting lots and lots of injuries. Since I used sports masseuse, I just didn't get injured. Well, the only contrary to that is when I started barefoot style running. But obviously now I've transitioned a bit better, and I was previously getting sports massages. I now hopefully am past the injuries for that. So that's the next thing. If you can't get a sports massage, because it's not cheap, it's like I get a really good deal with my sports masseuse. You're normally looking at kind of £60 for a session. I pay £45 and I'm getting an hour and a half on the table, which sounds like a treat. Trust me, you go through it, your body is shaking, it's in that much pain by the end of it. So, but it does you the world of good. So that's the next tip. The next one is buy a foam roller. You can get a couple of variations. You can get the ones on the floor where you use your body weight and roll over them. There's loads and loads of YouTube videos on how to foam roll effectively. If you're going to foam roll, it's important you do watch some educational videos, pure and simply because you never roll your ligaments or your tendons. If you do that, you'll injure them. So foam rolling is purely for muscles, predominantly. I'm no physio, but I know people that have been injured from foam rolling by doing the wrong technique. I don't like foam rolling. It's it's a really, it looks really weird when you're doing it on the floor, and it's quite sore, and you don't feel you're getting the right leverage. And I think people have got the right technique when we say otherwise. But I prefer a roller stick, so you can get the same thing with the same principle, rolling out your muscles to kind of iron out the little niggles and knots and things in your muscles. But it's a stick format, 2 handles, and it has rollers in the middle. So you roll it up and down your muscles, and it irons them out. And the general rule of thumb is, if you're rolling somewhere where it hurts, keep rolling that area until it stops hurting, until it loosens up. And that's kind of how you can do that. So hopefully that will give you a tip and helpful advice as well. The next thing you can do is drink more. Hydration. I mean, when you're not hydrated enough, not enough water, muscles aren't hydrated, they're going to be prone to be more injured. I think I've talked about this in the previous episode. I drink a gallon of water every day without fail. That's 3.7 litres. So it's quite a lot of water. Far more, probably double what most people drink. You may, and that's not including, I might have a cup of tea a day or something along those lines, and all the water I absorb from food. So I'm probably getting well in excess of 4 litres a day. Sounds excessive, but when you're doing the running I'm doing, you need to maintain that hydration. And you can always tell a good barometer is the colour of your urine. My urine is always super clear, which makes me feel that, yes, I'm always hydrated, which is really, really key. And the final one I want to say is your diet as well. People underestimate it, but if someone gave me the analogy a while ago about your diet's like a fire, your body's like a fire. You put really good quality dry kindling or timber, it will go up really nice, a real healthy fire. So your body's burning, the energy you're getting is, the body's clean, it's cleansed, it's functioning on full capacity. If you put a load of sodden wet leaves on the fire, it will smoke and splutter. And it's the same with your diet. If you're eating loads of processed, rubbish food, sweet, sugar, unnatural, you want to stick to natural ingredients. If you're sticking to all the chemicals and E numbers, and if it's got stuff, the general rule of thumb, if you look at the back and the ingredients of what you're eating, if you've got stuff that ends in oxide and nitrates and all this type of stuff, or it's got letters and numbers that don't mean anything to you, then that's just processed and preservatives and colourings and all that type of stuff. That's all the processed stuff which doesn't help you at all. So try and cut it out. I'm not saying cut it out fully if you've got a guilty pleasure, but certainly reduce it, and you'll find that you feel a lot better, you feel more energised, and your body will recover a lot better, and you'll generally find a correlation between what you eat and how fit you feel. If you're feeling better, less likely to get injured. So just a few tips that I found super useful for me and how I try and stop myself getting injured. There's going to be loads of others, and I'd love to hear other people's thoughts, because I'm always learning here in terms of what you can do to avoid injury, because there's nothing more depressing than when you start running, you start building some traction, you start improving, or you're really enjoying yourself running, then you get an injury and it throws you. And I think there's evidence to suggest that as long as you're injured for less than 6 weeks, you don't lose that level of fitness any longer than 6 weeks, and you're almost going back to basics again. So there's a lot to be said for that. So stay injury free if you can. So I hope you found that useful. Just to summarise, gait analysis. Get gait analysis. It gives you confidence that the footwear is giving you the support you need. 2, pick the right brand of running trainer for you that gives you the support and the comfort that you desire. 3, sports massage if you can. Game changing for me, but obviously cost prohibiting. It might be that foam rollering is the next best option, or roller stick, to make sure that you're ironing out those inefficiencies within your muscles. And 4, stay hydrated. Some people will even put a little salt tablet or electrolytes or something into their fluids, so that their muscles can retain water better, more efficiently. And the final one is look at your diet, eat healthier. Your body will be more optimised to perform better. The recovery will be more optimised, should lead to less injuries. So I hope that's been useful. Any questions or comments, please let me know. Anything you guys do that can obviously help my injury management process is always welcome. So any feedback you've got will be amazing. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks a lot.